The phone rang at 3 in the morning. My sister Rachel's name lit up my screen. My hand started shaking before I even answered because Rachel never called this late. When I picked up, her voice was so quiet I could barely hear her. Sarah. Something's really wrong with me. Can't think straight. Please. You have to help me. Glass crashed in the background. A man yelling. Then the phone went dead. I jumped out of bed so fast I didn't even put on shoes. I grabbed my car keys and my phone and I ran. My heart was beating so hard I thought it would break through my chest. As a parent, as a sister, as anyone who loves somebody. What would you do if the person you love most called you like that? Comment below and tell me because I need to know I'm not crazy for what I did next. My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm 34 years old. 4 years ago, I gave my little sister Rachel one of my kidneys to save her life. She was only 26 when her kidneys started failing. The doctors said she wouldn't make it without help. So I didn't think twice. I gave her part of me so she could live. After the surgery, Rachel got better. She met a man named Michael at a church event. He seemed perfect, kind, successful, always smiling. They got married fast. Too fast. But Rachel was so happy. And I wanted her to be happy after everything she'd been through. But tonight something was very wrong. Let me tell you how I got here. My mom died when Rachel was just 15 and I was 23. Cancer took her in 3 months. Before she passed away, she held my hand and whispered, "Take care of your sister. Promise me. She needs you." Promise. And I've kept that promise every single day since. When Rachel got sick at 26, I didn't hesitate. The doctors explained that kidney donation was serious. They'd have to cut me open, take out one of my organs, and I'd need months to heal. Some people said I was crazy. What if you need it later? They asked. But Rachel is my baby sister. The same little girl who used to sleep in my bed when she had nightmares. The same girl who cried on my shoulder when Mom died. How could I not save her? The surgery was hard. Really hard. But when Rachel opened her eyes 3 days later and smiled at me, I knew I'd do it again in a heartbeat. She recovered beautifully. Got strong again. Started living her life. Then she met Michael Thompson at a church barbecue. He was 38, owned 3 fitness centers across the state, and treated Rachel like a princess. First anyway. They got married 6 months after they met. I thought it was too fast, but Rachel said, "Sarah, after almost dying, I don't want to waste time. Michael makes me feel alive." So I supported her. I stood next to her at the wedding. I smiled in all the photos. I hugged Michael and welcomed him to our family. But then small things started happening. Rachel stopped answering my calls as quickly. When we did talk, she seemed foggy, confused. She'd forget things we just talked about. She'd repeat herself. "Are you feeling okay?" Ask. "Your kidney." "I'm fine, Sarah," she'd snap. "Michael takes great care of me. Maybe you're just jealous I'm happy now." It hurt. But I backed off because I didn't want to push her away. Then tonight happened. The drive to their house normally takes 30 minutes. I made it in 18. I didn't care about speed limits. I didn't care about anything except getting to Rachel. Their house sits on 2 acres in the fancy part of town. Big gates, perfect lawn, everything looking beautiful on the outside. But I've learned that the prettiest houses sometimes hide the ugliest secrets. I pulled up to the gate at 3:30 in the morning. My heart was pounding. I punched in the code Rachel had given me months ago. Her birthday. The gate opened. Every light in the house was on. That's when I knew something was really, really wrong. I ran to the front door and started banging on it. Hard. "Rachel! Rachel, open the door." The door opened just a crack. Michael stood there in his pajamas, hair perfect, face calm. "Come. Sarah. It's 3:30 in the morning. What are you doing here?" Rachel called me. She said something was wrong. I need to see her. She's sleeping. She had a rough night. Got confused, anxious. The doctor gave her something to help her rest. "What doctor? What are you talking about?" Michael sighed like I was being difficult. Rachel's been having some problems lately. Memory issues, mood swings. It's been hard on both of us. But we're handling it. You should go home. No. I want to see her. I'm afraid I can't let you do that. She needs rest, not you barging in here making her more upset. He started to close the door. Pushed against it. Get out of my way, Michael. Sarah, you're being hysterical. Move. I shoved the door hard. Michael stumbled back, surprised. I didn't care anymore. Something was screaming inside me that Rachel was in danger. I ran through their perfect living room with its white couches and expensive art. Rachel. Rachel. A weak voice from upstairs. Sarah. I took the stairs 3 at a time. Michael was shouting behind me, saying I was crazy, threatening to call the police. I didn't stop. The master bedroom door was locked. I twisted the handle, threw my shoulder against it. Rachel, I'm here. I'm coming. Michael grabbed my arm. I spun around and looked him dead in the eyes. Touch me again and I swear I will make you regret it. Something in my face must have scared him because he let go. Kicked the door. Once. On the third kick, the lock broke and the door flew open. What I saw made my blood turn to ice. Rachel was on the bathroom floor in her nightgown. She looked so thin, like she'd lost 30 pounds. Her skin was gray. Her eyes were half closed. And all around her on the floor were prescription bottles. Dozens of them. I dropped to my knees next to her. Rachel. Rachel, look at me. She turned her head slowly. When she saw me, tears started running down her face. Sarah. I'm so tired. I can't think anymore. I grabbed the bottles. Names I didn't recognize. Pills I'd never heard of. But there were so many. What are all these? I demanded, looking up at Michael who was standing in the doorway. Her medications. The doctors prescribed them for her anxiety and depression. What doctors? Rachel doesn't have anxiety. And there are 15 bottles here. I looked at the labels more carefully. Some were for sleep. Some were for anxiety. Some were antipsychotics. Drugs for people with serious mental illness. And the dates. Some of these had been refilled weekly. Rachel doesn't need any of this, I said, my voice shaking. What have you been doing to her? Michael's calm mask finally cracked. You don't know what it's been like living with her. After the kidney transplant, she started having problems. Mental problems. I've been trying to help her. Help her. You've been drugging her. I pulled Rachel into my arms. She was so weak she could barely hold her head up. Can you stand, sweetie? We're leaving. Right now. She's not going anywhere, Michael said. His voice had changed. Gone cold. Rachel is my wife. She's sick. And I have documentation from 3 different doctors saying she needs professional psychiatric help. My stomach dropped. What are you talking about? He pulled out his phone and showed me. Videos of Rachel talking to herself. Confused. Saying strange things. Medical reports diagnosing her with bipolar disorder, severe anxiety, possible schizophrenia. But I knew Rachel. She didn't have these problems before she married him. You did this to her, I whispered. You've been giving her all these drugs to make her seem crazy. That's a serious accusation. Do you have any proof? He was right. I didn't. Not yet. But I knew in my bones what was happening here. I'm taking my sister to the hospital. No, you're not. Michael stepped into the bathroom, blocking the door. He was bigger than me, stronger. For the first time I felt actual fear. But then I thought about my mom's last words. Take care of your sister. I'd given Rachel my kidney. I wasn't about to let this man destroy her. I stood up, keeping Rachel behind me. Move. Or I start screaming so loud your neighbors call the police themselves. We stared at each other for a long moment. Then Michael smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Go ahead. Take her. But when she ends up in a psychiatric hospital because she's a danger to herself, don't say I didn't warn you. I have everything documented. Doctors' reports. Videos. Witnesses. Good luck proving I did anything wrong. He stepped aside. I helped Rachel stand up. She could barely walk. I had to hold her up as we moved past Michael, down the stairs and out to my car. He stood in the doorway watching us leave. Still smiling. I drove straight to the emergency room. Rachel kept drifting in and out. Sarah, I'm sorry. I should have listened to you. Shoo, don't talk. Just stay with me, okay? At the hospital, the nurses took one look at Rachel and rushed her back. They wouldn't let me go with her at first. I sat in the waiting room for 2 hours, shaking, praying, terrified. Finally, a doctor came out. She was young with kind eyes and tired face. Ms. Mitchell. I'm Dr. Chen. Your sister is stable now. What's wrong with her? Dr. Chen sat down next to me. We ran a full toxicology screen. Your sister has 7 different medications in her system. Some of them shouldn't be taken together. The combination could have caused serious harm, or worse. My hands started shaking. Could she have died? If this continued? Absolutely. I started crying then. I couldn't help it. My baby sister, the one I gave my kidney to save, had almost been taken from me anyway. There's more, Dr. Chen said gently. We checked her kidney function. The one you donated. It's fine. Working perfectly. Your sister doesn't have any of the mental health problems listed in her medical records from the past year. What she has is drug-induced confusion from being over-medicated. So someone was giving her all these drugs on purpose. To make her seem crazy. That's what the evidence suggests. We're required to report this to the police as suspected abuse. Within an hour, a detective arrived. Her name was Detective Maria Santos. She was in her 40s, serious, professional. Ms. Mitchell, I need you to tell me everything that happened. I told her about the phone call, breaking into the house, finding Rachel surrounded by pill bottles, Michael's threats, his documentation. Detective Santos took careful notes. This is serious. But I have to be honest with you. Cases like this are hard to prove. If he has medical records from real doctors, if he can show he was acting on their advice, it becomes his word against yours. But look at her. Look at what he did to her. I believe you. But believing you and proving it in court are 2 different things. You pause. However, if we could show a pattern, if we could prove he's done this before, or if there are others, that changes everything. I went home that morning exhausted, but I couldn't sleep. Instead, I started researching. Michael owned 3 fitness centers. Thompson Wellness Centers. They weren't just gyms. They offered holistic health programs, including nutrition counseling, supplements, and wellness coaching. I dug deeper. Found online reviews. Most were positive. But buried in the old reviews from 3 years ago, I found something that made my heart stop. My sister joined Thompson Wellness and within 2 months was acting completely different. Paranoid, anxious, not herself. She was hospitalized. Michael Thompson claimed he was trying to help her, but something felt very wrong. Another review. Be careful. They push supplements hard here. Made me feel sick and foggy. When I stopped taking them, I felt better immediately. Kept searching. I found an obituary from 4 years ago. Jennifer Patterson, age 32. She'd been engaged to Michael Thompson. She died from accidental overdose of prescription medications. The family requested donations to mental health charities. I found Jennifer's sister on social media. Her name was Grace Patterson. I sent her a message. Kept it simple. My name is Sarah. My sister married Michael Thompson. I think he's been hurting her. Did something happen with your sister Jennifer? Grace called me within an hour. Oh my God, she said when she heard my story. He's doing it again. What do you mean? Jennifer was fine before she met Michael. Happy, healthy, normal. But after 6 months with him, she started having anxiety attacks. Michael convinced her to see his doctors. They put her on all these medications. She got worse and worse. We tried to tell her something was wrong, but she trusted Michael. He was so caring, so concerned. Grace's voice broke. She died in their apartment. Michael called 911, crying, saying she'd taken too many pills by accident. The police ruled it accidental. But Jennifer would never. She was terrified of drugs after watching our dad struggle with addiction. She would never have taken that many pills. Did you report it? I tried. But Michael had everything documented. Medical records showing Jennifer's mental health problems. Videos of her acting erratic. The police said there was no evidence of foul play. The same pattern. The exact same pattern. Grace, would you be willing to talk to the detective investigating my sister's case? Absolutely. If it helps stop him from doing this to someone else, I'll do whatever it takes. I called Detective Santos immediately. Told her about Jennifer. About the pattern. About Grace willing to testify. This is good, Santos said. This is really good. But Sarah, I need more. I need to catch him in the ACT. I need proof he's actively doing this. What kind of proof? The kind that shows intent. That shows he knows what he's doing is wrong and is doing it anyway. An idea formed in my mind. Dangerous. Risky. But possibly our only chance. What if Rachel goes back? Absolutely not. That's too dangerous. Hear me out. What if she goes back wearing a wire? What if she confronts him and gets him to admit what he's been doing? Rachel was released from the hospital 2 days later. The doctors wanted to keep her longer, but she insisted on leaving. She was already looking better. Clearer eyes, more alert, getting her strength back. Picked her up. We drove to my apartment in silence. Finally she spoke. I'm so sorry, Sarah. You have nothing to be sorry for. I should have listened to you. You tried to warn me about Michael, and I called you jealous. I was so stupid. Stop. You're not stupid. He's a master manipulator. He planned this. You couldn't have known. Rachel was quiet for a moment. Then she said something that surprised me. Detective Santos called me. She told me about Jennifer. About Grace. About what they think Michael's been doing. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. If I hadn't called you that night, I'd be dead, wouldn't I? I couldn't lie to her. Probably. Rachel wiped her eyes. Then I want to help catch him. I want to make sure he never does this to anyone else. Rachel, it's dangerous. He almost killed me, Sarah. He slowly poisoned me for months. Made me think I was losing my mind. Made me doubt my own thoughts. Her voice got stronger. I saved my kidney from my big sister. I'm not going to let that be for nothing. Tell me what I need to do. 2 days later, Rachel called Michael. I sat next to her, holding her hand as she made the call. Michael. Me. I'm so sorry. Sarah convinced me to leave, but she was wrong. You were just trying to help me. I want to come home. I could hear the smile in Michael's voice. Oh, Rachel. I'm so glad. I've been so worried about you. Come home, sweetheart. We'll get you back on your medications and you'll feel better soon. Rachel closed her eyes. Okay. I'll be there tomorrow. The next day, Detective Santos fitted Rachel with a tiny wire. It was hidden in her necklace, a small cross our mother had given her. Remember, Santos said, you need to get him to admit what he's been doing. Ask him why he gave you so many medications. Why he told doctors you were mentally ill when you weren't. We need him to say it out loud. What if he gets violent? Yes. We'll have officers outside. The moment anything seems dangerous, we pull her out. Rachel hugged me. I'll be okay. I'm tougher than I look. I know you are. You survived kidney failure and a transplant. You can survive this too. But watching her drive away to that house where he'd almost ended her was the hardest thing I've ever done. I sat in the police van with Detective Santos, listening through headphones as Rachel arrived at the house. Michael's voice. Rachel. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so happy you're home. Rachel. I missed you. Come inside. I have your medications ready. You must be feeling awful without them. They went inside. I heard Rachel sit down. Rachel. Michael, before I take anything, I need to understand something. Why did I need so many different pills? Michael. Because you were very sick, honey. The doctors. Rachel. But I don't remember being sick before I met you. I only got confused and anxious after we got married. After you started giving me all those pills. Silence. Then Michael's voice changed. Got colder. What exactly are you saying, Rachel? Rachel. I'm saying, I don't think I was ever actually sick. I think you made me sick. Michael. That's ridiculous. You're clearly having another episode. Rachel. No. I'm clearer now than I've been in months. 'Cause I've been off your pills. So I need you to tell me the truth. Did you give me medications I didn't need? Did you tell doctors I had problems I didn't have? Long silence. Then Michael laughed. It was cold and mean. You really want to know? Fine. I gave you medications to keep you manageable. To keep you quiet and dependent. Just like I did with Jennifer. My heart stopped. He admitted it. Rachel's voice shook, but she kept going. Why? Why would you do that to me? Michael. Because women like you are worth more when you're helpless. Your kidney transplant made you perfect. Rich insurance payouts for your medical care. Access to pain medications I could sell. And if something happened to you, accident, overdose, I'd inherit everything and play the grieving husband. Rachel. You were going to kill me. Just like you killed Jennifer. Michael. Jennifer was weak. She figured it out too soon, so I had to speed things up. But you were so trusting. So grateful that someone loved you after being sick. It was almost too easy. Rachel started crying. How could you? I loved you. Love. Michael laughed again. You were a paycheck, Rachel. Nothing more. That's when Detective Santos gave the signal. Move in now. The sound of doors breaking. Police shouting. Michael screaming. Rachel was safe. Michael was arrested that afternoon. They charged him with attempted murder, fraud, abuse, and reopened Jennifer's case as a homicide investigation. They searched his house and fitness centers. What they found was horrifying. Michael had been running a scheme for 6 years. He'd target vulnerable women, usually ones with health problems or family money. He'd romance them, marry them quickly, then slowly poison them with medications while documenting fake mental illness. When they died, he'd collect insurance money and inheritance while playing the devoted husband destroyed by loss. Jennifer was the first they could prove. But there were 3 other women before her who died under suspicious circumstances. All of them had been engaged to or married to Michael. All ruled accidental overdoses. The evidence from Rachel's wire recording was enough to charge him with everything. The trial took 14 months. I sat in that courtroom every single day, holding Rachel's hand. The prosecutors played the recording of Michael's confession. You could hear people in the courtroom gasp when he admitted he'd planned to kill Rachel for money. Grace testified about Jennifer. 3 other families came forward about their daughters who'd died. Women from Michael's fitness centers testified that he'd pushed dangerous supplements on them and tried to get them to take medications they didn't need. The jury took 4 hours to reach a verdict. Guilty on all counts. The judge sentenced him to life in prison without possibility of parole. When they led Michael away in handcuffs, he looked at Rachel one last time. She stared right back at him, head high, alive and strong. After the trial, Rachel started a support group for women who'd been abused by people they trusted. She called it Second Chance Sisters because that's what we are. Sisters who got a second chance at life. She speaks at churches and community centers, telling her story, helping other women recognize the warning signs of this kind of abuse. I'm so proud of her. 6 months after the trial, we visited Mom's grave together. Rachel placed flowers and said, I'm okay now, Mom. Sarah kept her promise. She took care of me. I added my own flowers and whispered, I'll always keep that promise. But the story doesn't end there. Last month, a letter arrived at Rachel's apartment. Prison mail. Michael's name on the return address. It said, You think you've won. But you only got lucky. I have friends on the outside who know everything about you. Every place you go. Every speech you give. When I get out, and I will get out, you'll wish you'd died when you had the chance. Rachel brought it straight to Detective Santos. They're investigating the threat. Michael's parole was revoked for the next 40 years because of it. But here's what Michael doesn't understand. Rachel isn't afraid anymore. Because when you survive someone trying to end your life, when you stand up in court and watch them get sentenced, when you take your pain and turn it into purpose by helping other people, you become unstoppable. I'm 34 years old. I gave my sister one of my kidneys 4 years ago. I'd do it again tomorrow without hesitation. But the real gift I gave her wasn't my kidney. It was refusing to give up on her when everyone else said she was crazy. It was trusting my gut when something felt wrong. It was keeping the promise I made to our mother. Rachel is alive today because I didn't stop fighting. So here's what I learned from this nightmare. And I hope you remember this if you ever need it. First, trust your gut. If something feels wrong about someone your loved one is with, investigate. Don't ignore those feelings. Second, abusers hide behind respectability. Michael was charming, successful, went to church. But behind closed doors he was a monster. Perfect people don't exist. Question everything. Third, never stop fighting for the people you love. Even when it's hard. Even when it's scary. Even when they push you away. Keep fighting. I still check on Rachel every single day. We talk on the phone, have dinner together twice a week, and I make sure she's really okay. Because I made a promise to my mother, and I'm keeping it. If this story helped you, if it taught you something, if it reminded you to trust your instincts about the people in your life, then share it. Comment below. Tell me your story. 'Cause these aren't just stories. These are warnings. Real things that happen to real people. Don't wait until 3 a.m. to act on what you know in your heart is true. Be like Rachel, brave enough to fight back. Be like me, stubborn enough to never give up. And always, always protect the people you love. Because in the end, that's what really matters.